sashimi. 3, 2, 1.
Hello guys, Toon here, back again. Well, it's that time of year, it's December, it's coming up to Christmas, and it's time for my best shmups of the year. So this is my 10 best shmups of 2024. I will say this year, there hasn't been a huge amount of really good shmups that's come out this year. There's been some good stuff, don't get me wrong, but nothing that's like there's not a lot that's really made me think, wow, I love this, I love this, I love this. There has been a few, but so getting a top 10, I've had to do a lot of thinking about it and where I'm going to rank everything. So we're going to start off with number 10 and work our way down to my favorite shmup of the year. So, this is Shakondo, and this is the Yokai edition. So this is an upgrade on the original Shakondo. In this one, it's got an extra level. They give you some extra modes. They've reworked some of the graphics. There's a new bullet scraping mechanic as well, which allows you to power up your bomb a lot faster, and then your bomb then you can use for to get loads of extra points. You've got the arcade mode. You've got dual mode. You've got a boss mode. The dual mode is the interesting one. This is a new one. Basically, you can swap out. You can play single player, but swap out the players back and forth, and you basically get the single player story mode and everything. To be honest, I haven't really messed around with that mode. I've just been playing the arcade mode, but it's quite nice. You've got them options. There is rankings as well, but they're not online. So let's start this up. There's two characters you get in this game. They are slightly different to each other. I can never work out which character I actually like. To be honest, I like both of them. You get obviously different difficulties and stuff, so I'm just gonna do normal arcade, not story. So with this as well, it's pretty simple. It's fire. You hold down another button then to slow down and focus your attacks. So it's auto fire, and then hold down a button to focus, and then you've got your bomb, which is essentially the mode you use to get lots of score. Basically, you convert all the bullets on screen to points or souls, and you collect the souls. So I'll show you that in a minute once the screen gets start filling up with bullets and everything. Quite interesting. You can play the story mode and then swap the characters in and out. Like I said, I haven't really messed with that mode much. I do think this is a pretty nice upgrade on the original game. The game has some nice music, some nice graphics as well. It's a decent challenge. And you got the oh, there's the souls. I used my bomb at completely the wrong time, man. So I gotta get my souls back now. The soul collect is ready, so I'm going to collect. So the original version of this did get an extra arcade release as well. I have played the extra version, and it's good. I don't really know what the differences are, mind on it. But this one, it's not massively different to the original, but it's a pretty nice upgrade nevertheless. And this is a pretty decent game. So here's the first boss. The bosses look reasonably normal at first, but they do get a bit crazy. So I believe this game is based on Korean folklore. I think it's Korean folklore anyway. Okay, good time for a soul collect. So you can see my little dot on my character when I'm getting close to bullets is collecting the souls. And then you can get your soul attack back then, which is essentially a bomb and a way of scoring. So that's not it for the bosses. This is where they start going a little bit crazy. There's some pretty mad boss designs and stuff in this. So I'm going to soul attack again, and then I'm going to start hogging bullets to get souls off them. Once my soul attack is gone. So now you'll see when I start getting close to bullets, you see like little souls going into my body. This is how you get your soul attack back faster. Yeah, I got one back again. So pretty much on scoring on this, you want to be in this mode essentially to score as many points as you can and get as many souls as you can, and then go scraping for more souls again. I think this is a pretty nice upgrade on the original game. That's well worth picking up. So I got another soul attack already there. So that's the first boss on the first level. I will try not to stay on these games for too long because I don't want to show you too much. Just in case you fancy picking it up yourself, of course. And I don't want this video to be like 4 hours long. Which is a bit of a nightmare because I can't do short videos. So at the end of the level, you get a choice. You either get all your soul attack back, or you can choose an extra life. So I'm just going to go for the extra life. I think most people probably going to end up choosing the extra life, unless you're going for points, of course, and you're playing for a big score. So it does have some nice detail and some nice music in this game. I do quite like the backgrounds; they're quite cool. But it is a Toho game essentially. So I do a soul attack again. It does get a lot harder later on as well. Here we go, and then basically you just scrape a load of bullets again now, basically get that soul attacker back as fast as possible. Which I've got it back straight away. Really handy that is, you can really sort of go for your points then. And keep sort of chucking the soul attack out. So anyway guys, that is Shikondo Rampage Edition. So Youkai Rampage Edition. So yeah, if you like a look at that, check it out on Steam. I think I paid about 10 quid for it, something like that when it came out. I think I could be wrong. I'm not sure. It might be cheaper now. Plus, obviously, Steam Christmas sales are coming up, so they may be discounted in the sales. So let's move along to number 9. Right guys, here we go. This is number 9. This is the Tiger Heli Toplan Garage shot triggers from M2. It's a shame we're not getting an M2 shmup this year for Christmas, but it is going to be coming after Christmas. It's going to be on the PC, and it's going to be Night Strikers with Operation Wolf. So with this one, this is a collection of the Tiger Heli games, or the Tiger Heli for the first one, and Kyukyoku Tiger, or something like that is pronounced. And as a bonus, there is DLC for this, and you get Star, which is like, I know, it's like a platform scroll-along beat 'em up. If you buy this on disc, you actually get the code so you can download it. But if you just buy it off the download stores, you have to buy it as DLC. So this is 2 classic. Or free if you're going to, maybe not so much for classic Get Star, but 2 classic Toplan shoot-em-ups. One early one, and well, very early one actually. It might actually be the first game they released, and the sequel to it, which came years after. You also get the console version. So with the Tiger Heli, you get the Famicom and the arcade, and with Kyukyoku Tiger, you get arcade, Famicom, PC Engine, and the Mega Drive, which is very nice. You get them. So we're going to start off with Tiger Heli. You get the various modes as well, so you get to pick which ones you want, so the console versions, Famicom or NES, and they've also included the super easy mode, and there's a custom mode, and you've got a challenge mode as well. I do like, they got nice little pictures of the boards and stuff, and then you can see consoles. So we're just going to do plain arcade. This game as well, you've got the gadgets on the sides and everything. which show, as you can see, but the gadgets are always very nice on the Shot Triggers games. So this is, I think this is Toaplan's first arcade shmup or arcade game. I believe, but like if I'm wrong, let me know. So I always press that by mistake. So we're gonna cancel out that one. I can never remember which one is bloody credits on these collections. So this is basically a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up. Basically, you've got fire and bomb. You collect the bombs. They sit inside your helicopter. This game is quite slow playing. I remember this game back in the day, years, you know, when they first came out, it was everywhere. This was like super popular, this game was. It's a very basic shoot 'em up into the fact that, like, all the tanks and stuff, they fire every so many seconds. They always fire directly at you. And I don't think there's any bullet ceiling on this game. What I mean is when an enemy scrolls off screen or to the bottom of the screen, they stop firing at it. I believe in this that they still basically fire at you and snipe you. We'll put that to the test in a minute. It is a nice little bonus that if you keep shooting this, you get a bonus on it. See, no bullet ceiling. Hey, there you go. So all these tanks, they appear from various sides, and they always fire in the same sort of timing. So once you get that timing in your head, this game becomes a little bit easier, so you know exactly when they're going to fire. There's two bombs you got, one on each side. The bomb itself, I'll drop one there, will wipe out all bullets, and then you can collect another bomb that's on the side. If an enemy fires and hits you on the side, your bomb will basically blow up straight away. You can pick up pickups, as you'll see in a minute. You can get side firing that shoots to each side, forward firing, and you can pick up an extra bomb. So you'll fire in a couple of seconds, fire, fire, fire. As he fired and killed me. But lucky enough, they took out my bomb. One thing is this as well, you can get little helicopters on your side, which are basically the power-ups. You can get two. Once you've got them on the side, though, you can't go right to the side of the screen. You can only go as far as your helicopters hit. So I picked up a bomb then when I really wanted the extra helicopters. I say this game does loop as well, so you can basically play through it all and then it'll loop back round. A lot of Topan games do that. There's little bonuses and stuff you can pick up around the place. I believe there's some cheat options on this that will make you fly around a little bit faster and stuff on you. I am messed around with the cheats on you, to be honest. You need to translate them as well because they're in Japanese. So, see, I didn't want the bomb again. You get the idea. It's quite a basic shoot 'em up, but it's quite a nice one nevertheless. Always used to like this game, even though back in the day you'd never last that long on it. It is a game where you can learn different situations as well, because enemies will always turn up in the same place every time. So there's not a huge amount of randomness to it other than the way they fire at you. Like there'll be some extra tanks around you now. I think they appear on the other side now as well. Now it's the first level. I can't remember exactly how many levels are on this game. It can be a tricky game, but with a bit of practice, it's not too hard to finish. I remember back in the day it used to be solid, but if you look back now, it's not too difficult. You can put auto fire on you, but you want to tap for a lot of it. It is handy to have auto fire, like I've got there, but you're better off in some ways tapping for a lot of enemies. And if anything big comes along, you can tap it. There is bosses on here as well. I want to get one of those power-ups so I can show you the helicopters that go on the side. Which I'm pretty much failing to do so far. Ah, oh, wouldn't believe it, I got a bomb again. Alright, I'm not going to be able to show you those helicopters on the side then, because I keep collecting bombs. You can only collect 2 bombs as well, so... Right, let me try and get one now. So I want forward firing one. So the little helicopter comes down screen. So as you can see, once you've got the helicopters on the side, it does limit your screen, because I can't go right across the screen now. So you've got to be aware of that when you've got the extra helicopters. Got the red one there. So you've got the side firing. Say, basic game, but you know, sometimes that's good though, you know what I mean? Sometimes, I love bullet hell shmups and with lots of stuff going on, but every now and then something a little bit more basic is actually quite nice. And don't be fooled, like a lot of the Toplan games, even though they are basic, will kick your ass. See, I can't shoot that boat there because I had the helicopter on the side. So I'm going to kill myself. So that's Tiger Heli. So we will go back. We're going to change direct menu. So we will change to Kyukyoku Tiger. You can have the Western arcade version. The Western arcade version, the helicopter's faster. So in some ways, maybe that might be the one to play, but I always tend to pick the Japanese one. This is a really nice game. They had some really nice conversions to consoles. The Mega Drive and the PC Engine version of this are both really good. You can't fault either way. Like the NES one's surprisingly good as well. So when the ROM loads in, it is a classic. This game is. They've you don't get sides on this as such, but you get 4 different weapons. So you've got a spread weapon, you've got a weapon that shoots up, down, left and right, you've got a forward firing laser, and you've got the red front firing that does spread out a bit, which what I'm using now. This front weapon, I would say, is probably the best weapon on this game. The spread weapon is fantastic for the levels, but it's a bit crap for the bosses. But the red weapon is pretty decent all-rounder when it's powered up. So you've got to shoot these helicopters to get the power-ups. There's the first one. You do get bombs in this as well, and don't be too sparing with the bombs, because this game does give you quite a lot of bombs. Like Tiger Heli as well, you do have to almost predict when you need to drop a bomb, because you can't. They don't drop instant. So you've got to sort of predict where you're going to get in trouble and then just drop a bomb. I say this is PlayStation 4 only at the moment. At least I think it's PlayStation. No, sorry, it's on the Switch as well. I'll take that back. I don't know whether it's on Xbox. So you got a choice. You can either get the originals, which, as far as I know, haven't had Western releases, or you can get them off the download stores. The PlayStation and the Switch version are both region free, so it's pretty nice. When I was in Japan, I was looking for this everywhere. Switch version, find all over the place. No problems whatsoever. The PlayStation one, very hard to find. All the Shot Triggers games were tricky to find, to be honest. On the Switch though, simple. So now I got the laser, which is not ideally what I wanted. Nice and powerful, mind. It is extremely good for the bosses. This game does have a pretty damn good soundtrack as well. The PC Engine version of the soundtrack especially is very good. Now we're getting like a laser. Again, you got to watch for the snipe in this game. Very easy to get sniped on this game. I might stick with this weapon for now. Get into a little bit of trouble over there. No, we're not far away from the first boss. So this game will kick your ass as well. So the spread weapon is great for the main levels, and the popcorn enemies is fantastic, but it's not very good in bosses. If you can work out exactly when you need to change weapon as well, you could use the spread weapon through the levels and then change to the the red weapon or something for the bosses. So that's level 1. I'll show you a little bit of level 2. Say another toe plank classic. I've seen this quite a lot in the arcades. The other difference as well between the Western version, on this version, when you die, you got a restart point, which can make the game quite tricky. The Western version doesn't have restart points. You basically start back from where you die. Like watch how you'll get the restart point. So, quick sanity check. We'll go to the Western version. I'll show you quickly that version. This one was called Twin Cobra instead of Twin Tiger. Same game essentially, just slightly different rules on sort of restarts. And I'm pretty sure the helicopter is a bit faster on the Western version. It's good that they offer the 2 different versions so you can have a play around with them. As you see, you don't get the gadgets on this version. And plus the helicopter is a different colour, it's red. This is the version that if you'd seen about in the arcades in the day outside of Japan, you would have seen this version. See, the helicopter's a bit faster. And if I kill myself, you start off from where you die. Which definitely makes this game a bit easier. So anyway, that's Twin Cobra or Kurokoku Taiga. Probably saying that completely and utterly wrong. And I'll quickly show you Get Star, which is another game you actually get on here. So I think I'm going to have to go back to the main menu for Get Start. Yes, I think I am. I don't think I can get it. Oh no, I can't. It's Get Start or Get Star or Guardian, depending which version you want to play. This ain't a bad little game actually. It's a scroll-along platform game, beat 'em up essentially. Very similar to like things like Kung Fu Master and things like that, but in space. And it's continuously scrolling. It could be quite tricky. It reminds me of Drunken Master on the PC Engine. It can get quite tricky as well because you've got to. It's very much like Drunken Master actually. So you can always continuously walk in. You've got the punch, and there's the enemies are on a little bit of a timer as well. And you push up to jump, which is a bit weird for an arcade game, but. Be surprised at how tricky it gets. So this probably did come out before Tiger Heli, so maybe Tiger Heli was their first shoot 'em up, I don't know. Or maybe I'm talking crap, who knows. But yeah, it gets more and more tricky as you go along, and the bosses get more and more tricky to kill. I've never actually managed to finish it. You'll end up keep coming back to it. But it's quite a fun game. Like I say, it does remind me of Drunken Master on the PC Engine. So you got your little power-ups you can get as well. This one's the best one. It's invincible. I would say it's a cool game as a bonus, but essentially it isn't a bonus, it's DLC. I don't know how much it is though, because mine came with the disc, so... But anyway, that's Get Start. So let's move on to game number 8. Right, and guys, here we go. This is my pick for number 8 of the year. This is a game on the PC called Utopia Must Fall. It's a little bit of a different pick for a shmup. It is a shmup, basically. It's very much like Missile Command, and it goes for an 80s aesthetic, as you can see. Very sort of colour vector. And you've got to protect your base at the bottom. The enemies come down and fly in. You've got to shoot them. They come in different waves. You got a nuke weapon. You can fly off and shoot at them, and you've got to try and survive. And then it's a roguelike as well, so you can upgrade your weapons as you go along. You've got to make choices which give you, say, more nukes or faster firing, or you're trying to appease the enemies in the background and various other things. You get to pick, every now and then you get to pick what type of weapon you've got. So I'm going to play this on a touchpad, which ain't the best way of playing it, but it works. It does auto fire for you as well, which is quite nice. So I'm only using the mouse button essentially just to fire a nuke. So as you can see, enemies are coming around like Gallagher or whatever, and you've got to carry on shoot them. You aim and shoot them. Eventually you will get power-ups to where you get more than one firing. So you get like spread weapons and stuff, and when you move the cursor up and down, the spread will get wider as well. So you've got to protect your little city at the bottom. And every now and then, after each level, you'll see that I'll get a choice of some sort of upgrade, whatever that upgrade is, and it'll be different every time. So you proceed, and then use your choices where the roguelike comes into it. So I can stockpile nukes, which I can add more nukes. I can have arc shield fail, so if my city blows up, it'll fire bolts of lightning out to kill everything around it as an extra survival. I can regen my shield, so I can tempt communications. See, understanding mode. There's various things. These do affect quite a lot of things. You've basically got to go in and actually read what they actually do. So we're going to go for something simple, so we're going to do the nukes. This game has got loads of levels. I never finished it. I don't know whether it keeps going and getting harder and harder, but it can get really addictive. I tend to get up to about level 24 and it starts getting a bit nuts. You also later on as well, you can get these towers to go on each side of your little city. You can get 4 of them, and your towers will help you fight as well. But then you also get like enemies coming in from the sides on the floor. So then your towers will need to knock them out. You've got to try and blow them up as well, as you can shoot all the way down. I really like the aesthetic to this. It's very cool. I say something a little bit different to chuck in the list, but I have really enjoyed this game. So nuclear weapons lab, this will give me more nukes essentially. On shield failure, create a short burst of extreme firepower, or arc fails. Let's do the blackout. Sometimes you get 2 upgrades, which I've got now. So let's go regenerative shield. So even if my shield gets knocked down from 100%, it will slowly regen. Enemies, as you see, they will also fire nukes at you as well. This actually works surprisingly well on the Steam Deck, on the touchpads on the Steam Deck. Same as I'm playing, like I said, I'm playing on touchpad now, and it works really well. So I'm going to fire a nuke. So blow everything up on screen. At the moment, you see my gun moves quite slowly left and right. You can get an upgrade for that to make it move a lot faster back and forth. So increased firepower is also a damn good one to have. Now we see it fires a lot faster. You can also do various weapon upgrades and stuff you have. And so the longer you last, the more bigger the upgrades turn up and the more sort of new and interesting things turn up. This game is basically £5. I'm pretty sure that's how much I paid for it. It's a very cheap game, but it is really good fun, and I really like it. I say I love the aesthetic. Like, this would look so cool in a proper vector graphics arcade machine with a proper monitor. I don't know whether the graphics would scale down that far, mine, but extended mag rail, so projectile velocity, so it gets even faster. So let's go faster again then. So at the moment it's not a huge amount of things that are coming at me, but they get more and more as you go along. Say these blue things that come in can sometimes be a pain. Those nukes, you will need them as well. So it's a good idea to get your nuke lab going. So I got one upgrade this time. So nuclear weapons lab, we'll have that. Rationed warheads. See, there's various things you can do as well by rationing your warheads and sort of lowering your power level down and stuff. You need to sort of play more and more to work out what type of the best upgrades and the way of doing it. Especially like friendly missiles, convert all nuclear missiles into attractive fireworks by demonstrating the peaceful intentions. So we'll do that just for a laugh. You can throw a party. Like if you throw a party, you can see what it actually does. Since it mentions the support for the idea, we're actually doing nothing about it. Choose new upgrades. So there's various things you can actually do that affect everything. Some passive, some active. Let's try one of those nukes. I won't play it for too long because this game starts getting quite addictive after a while. I say great value for money as well. Like, definitely one of the games I've really enjoyed playing this year. And it is essentially a shmup. It's just a slightly different look to a shmup. Ricochet, that's quite handy, that is. Basically, when you shoot the bullets up, they hit enemies and the bullets ricochet off. But improved gimbal is probably your best bet, so I can move a lot faster now. My gimbal will actually turn faster. You want that as fast as possible, especially for later on. You will start getting a lot of different enemies and that popping up as well later on in the game. This is a nice shoot 'em up to play sometimes if you just can't be asked getting a joystick out or anything like that. You can just sit there with a mouse and just relax while playing it. So you start getting a bit crazy and then you can't relax. Them enemies are a bit of a pain. So I'll play a little bit, do another level or two, and then we'll move on to game number 7. So, where we are, establish facility support of autonomous construction and maintenance. Yeah, we'll do that. That might be useful. So it's just basically going to go doing stuff on its own now. Yeah, there's lots of upgrades in this. I'm still not sure exactly how all of them really affect the game in some ways. In these type of games, you tend to go for the sort of more aggressive weapons and things like that. But the passive stuff really does sort of make differences as well. Oops, oh, my base got... I'll show you my base getting blown up. Base offline. I've gone really slow. That was one of the power-ups I've had that does that, essentially. So, anyway guys, that is Utopia Must Die. PC only as far as I'm aware. And yeah, definitely a game well worth playing and well worth picking up. So it is a fun one and it's cheap as well, which so can't argue with that. So let's go on to game number 7. Right guys, game number 7. This is Missile Dancer 2. This is another game by Terry Games, and basically the guy who did like not Blazing Lasers, what's it called? Raging Blasters. Very close. So he's gone for something completely different this time. So he's gone for like a Galaxy Force 2 sort of, I don't know, afterburner type sort of aesthetic. So it's quite a nice change because the original Missile Dancer was a vertical scrolling shmup. So this is a really fun one as well. It's got a fun mechanic and there's, I think there's 16 levels to it and like 2 bosses at the end. So let's get the controls working. So you've got online rankings and stuff as well, and you've got a couple of modes of play. Oops, wrong button. So you can play your tutorial, play arcade or caravan. All these games do have a caravan mode, which is quite nice. Which caravan mode, if you don't know, it was called originally caravan mode because it was a tournament that went on in Japan by Hudson Soft run it, and it was basically like a short 2-minute version of a game. Which then turned into, they started making games with 2-minute and 5-minute modes. Base score, there's lots of little mechanics and stuff to them, and you're playing for a high score. And they travelled around Japan for a couple of years doing these tournaments, and they had like the Hudson Caravan, which basically all the stuff where you turn up. So that's why they call caravan games essentially. So, but yeah, the caravan mode is quite good. It's basically a score attack. So let's go for arcade. You can choose normal, hard and expert. I'm going to go for hard. As you can see, there's 16 stages. Pretty simple in this game. You have a button to roll, so you're going to move around normally. And to dodge, you have a button to roll, so you can do that. When you get a lock on, you press a button for the lock on. And then, which basically shoots your missiles off. And then you've got a button for normal firing, which you'll see over there. There's 3 different weapons. You can pick up nukes, which only give you, I think it's like 3 or 4 lock-ons, I think they give you, but they're really powerful. And the other missiles then, the multi-missile, and I can't remember the other one's called. Will give you more missiles, but they're not so powerful. I like the nuke one, so we'll try the M1. You can kill enemies with your normal firing as well, but the lock-on is where you want to go. This game does have chains as well, and as you'll see in a minute, it'll say hits. So tricky to chain all the enemies together. There's little bonus circles to go through as well. So you get the special bonuses. Sometimes you get obstacles to dodge. Multi-missile. It does have some cool graphics as well. If you like Galaxy Force 2 and things like that, you're probably going to really enjoy this. Good thing about this as well, the levels are not like too long. I'm going to go for the Napalm one. The Napalm is wickedly powerful. But you've got a lot less lock-ons. Nice, got it. It's quite a fast-paced game as well, which is quite nice. Your shield, you do get 3 hits on your shield. Once you get a 3rd hit then on your shield, you do actually lose a life.
Stage 2.
So this game, as in all these shooting maps, are really set up for going for those high scores and getting those bonuses and the multipliers and the chains. And you got bonus. As in all these games as well, you do get 2 different soundtracks. You get like an 8-bit sort of chiptune soundtrack, and you get the normal modern soundtrack. Both soundtracks are very good, actually. I think I prefer the modern one on this one. So a nice little game. I can't remember the exact price I paid for it. I think it was around like 13 quid, something like that, 12, 13 quid. Well worth picking up because it's really good fun. I'd say something a little bit different on the list of shoot 'em ups. Not your traditional shoot 'em up, like, if you know what I mean. You will end up using the spin quite a lot to get yourself out of trouble. Like I'm saying as well, it's good that levels are quick and fast, especially with being 16 levels. And obviously they get progressively harder and they add more enemies and stuff in. So we'll have a quick look at level 3.
Stage 3.
This one reminds me of Galaxy Force. See, this game's fun on the harder levels as well. Get in it. Bow, bow, bow. Get in it. Sometimes you get little obstacles to go through for your special bonuses. Get a few more of them on the later levels. Some missiles as well you can shoot down and some you can't. But the ones that you can actually shoot them. But not all firing you can shoot. The white ones you can't shoot. You got the nice chain bonus going on then. A chain run out then, so I only got the small chain bonus. Got the old special bonus. We'll have a quick look at this boss. Reminds me of Night Strikers, this boss does, and a little bit of space area. Anyway guys, that is Missile Dancer 2. This is my pick for number 7. Definitely well worth picking up. Really fun game if you want something slightly different. It's good to go for the high scores on this as well, and you got the caravan mode as well. So I think we'll move on to game number 6. Right guys, game number 6. This is another one from Terra Ring Games. This is Crystal Breaker. This is his newest game that hasn't been out very long, a couple of weeks I think it's been out. This is slightly different. Where he normally does caravan modes in his games, this is a game that's pretty much all caravan modes. So prepare for super addiction to get the high scores, full online, leaderboards and stuff like that. So you'll end up playing for these levels multiple times, just basically trying to beat your score on it. And there's 10 levels at the various different sort of times you get through the levels. Same again, 2 different soundtracks. I quite like the chiptune soundtrack on this one, which is interesting. So, normal, hard, and expert. We'll just pick normal for now. So, not 10 levels, 8 levels, so I take that back. So, there's 8 levels, and each one of these is a caravan mode. So, you basically got your 220, 3 minute, 350, 4 minute, 410, 420, 5 minutes 30, and then you got your 10 minute. The 10-minute one essentially goes through the bosses and various things from all the previous 7 levels. So we'll do the 2-minute one. 2 different characters. You got one that's got firing that goes pretty much the full length of the screen, and it's more of a ranged character with less power. And you got a character with less range and more power, which is the one I prefer to have. What used to happen normally in these caravan games, people would choose the high speed. You usually get a choice of like 2 or 3 speed types in the PC Engine games. And most of these games have got caravan ones, but he's done it slightly interesting. This one, you press the second button, which allows you to switch to the fast speed straight away, and when you look at it, you go back to the slower speed, and it works surprisingly well. With this one as well, you've got to try and shoot as many enemies as possible, collect the crystals, you can chain enemies, there's tiles on the floor that give you extra points, there's special enemies that turn up and you've got to like shoot 2 at the same time or 4 at the same time. You've got to get in the middle of one of the sneaking enemies to get a bonus. So there's a lot to this game. There's a lot that's going to take you a little while to figure it out, and once you do figure it out, then you're going to be stuck trying to get the higher scores. So this one, 2 at the same time, 2 at the same time to get the special bonus. When enemies have a pink ring about them, they know into a fire and you can't shoot. And when they have like a yellow ring or green ring, I think it is, you can basically shoot that weapon wherever they fire to with your weapon and cancel it out. But they can fire a lot at you. Oh, I missed the bonus then. If you shoot 4 at the same time, you get a bonus. If you notice on the floor, there's different colour tiles. So you want to get the yellow ones give you a crystal bonus. Well, not crystal bonus, a normal bonus. The crystals themselves will go towards your multiplier. There's another enemy there. I should have shot 2 at the same time for extra score. So a 2-minute game or a 2.5-minute game. It doesn't sound like much, but it'll become extremely addictive. Your ship does have a bit of HP. So you take so many hits and you lose a life. Once you've lost that life, that's it. You've got to start the level again. So there's the green one, so I can actually shoot them. And then a pink firing. He's going to fire at me, which I've got to move out the way. So learning how to keep your crystal bonus going, keep your chaining going, collecting all the special tiles on the floor, keep collecting your power-ups when you're fully powered up to get extra points, and literally trying to get the highest score possible just equals super addictive. But he's added 8 super addictive levels. Normally, like you'd have Star Soldier, there's a special version of Gunhead, there's Final Soldier, Soldier Blade, like the most famous ones. They're all had a caravan mode, but he's essentially made 8 caravan modes. Nightmare. This game also plays incredibly well. There is like a different background you can put on here as well, which I turned it off. I think it looks better without it. I don't know if I can do it from here. Let me, I'll show you what I mean now. Let's have a look. If we go to options, see your chip tunes in it. No, I quite prefer the chip tunes for some reason. So you can have a bright background, normal background, which are like stars, like galaxies and things like that in the background, or black. I think the black background actually looks better. Reminds me more of the PC Engine's, caravan games or Star Soldier games. So we'll show you a bit of level 2.
Stage 2. 3.
Yeah, so I quite like these ship with the shorter firing and a bit more power. So you want to get up in their face anyway. I say you do power down when you get hit as well. Very tricky to chain. Enemies, you can't run into them. At least some of them you can't. I don't know whether you can run into them ones. I've never actually tried it. See, there's a bonus tile on the floor there. So handy having that button that just instantly speeds you up. So now it's going to be a little bit longer with more to it and a different boss at the end. Am I ranked down? That's not good. It's not going to be good for points. I'm not quite sure on this one. On the PC Engine ones, the faster you kill enemies, the more the waves come in. So you get more enemies the faster you kill them. I'm not sure whether that actually works on this version. Like I say, it hasn't been out that long, so I haven't had a chance to really sort of delve highly in, loads into it. But I've played it for a fair amount. Oh, I got it. Nice. So you can imagine there's a lot to collect, including collecting all the crystals. I gotta say, Terry and Terraring Games, they make some good games. There's only one that you can't get on PC. This is a PC one. Is Star Gignant. That is a Switch only game. That's brilliant as well. So that is Crystal Breaker, guys. It's very fast paced. 8 caravan levels, so basically they're all score attack levels. A little bit different. There is no full single player game, but you could play that, which is a 10-minute single player game. Well, 10-minute caravan game. But yeah, super fun, really fun. Just come out. I think it was roughly about 13 quid again for this game, but highly recommended. Very good indeed. So let's move on to game number 5. Right, guys, game number 5. This is Blue Revolver Double Action. This came out about a month ago. I missed the release of it. Blue Revolver was a game that came out in 2016, so it's like 8 years old. And the guy who made it has come back and he's done a massive update to it and called it Double Action. There's a huge amount. There's like new modes. The list is massive basically. New music. There's an extra character. There's various things they've added. I don't even know what half it is. I have sort of read a lot of it, but it's a huge amount. You'd have to go online and have a look. So it's basically an entire game overhaul. So on this one as well, you get unlocks, which as you play through the game, you get money and you can unlock stuff, or you can basically just unlock it all in one go. You get stars. I just clicked unlock and you unlocked it all. You got the extra modes. You got a gallery. You can have a look at the artwork, completion rates. You got online leaderboards. You got online replays with the leaderboards as well. The people at the top, James is at the top, funny enough. You can download his replay and watch his replay. The game supports 30, 60 and 120 modes. So if you've got a TV that does 120, you can have this game looking really smooth. You've got the music room, so you can play all the music in here. You've got tutorials. The break guide tells you how all that works. I need to read that, really, to be honest. Like I say, I haven't had a huge amount of time with this game so far, but what I've had with it is pretty banging. And you can basically buy the music as well. You have a mission mode where you can do various missions, which is quite cool for practice. And you've got a stage select, where you can use like a practice mode essentially, and then you got play. So you've got 3 characters. There's the new character. We'll go the new character. As you can see, I haven't completed it yet. There's a couple of different modes. There's a novice mode. You can play the hyper mode, and then there's the parallel mode then, where the difficulty is basically maxed. I don't know why I just picked the parallel mode, but there we go. All ships have got 2 weapons, a normal weapon and a sub weapon. This is where you pick the sub weapon. There is different sub weapons per ship, so it's quite cool that you can pick a sub. I'm going to go for the cluster bombs or cluster missiles. I haven't actually tried this mode. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so when you tap the button, you just go normal speed. You hold it down for more focused, but you go slower. All the little fragments you're seeing on the floor, the fragments from my sub weapon, which I'll show you that now, which is my bomb. I'm probably not going to last very long on this mode, but you've only got so many shots on your sub weapon. As you see down the bottom, there's that bar on the left hand side. That bar runs down, and you need to pick up more bomb fragments to build that bar back up to allow you to use your secondary weapon again. There is a trick you can do. You can bomb, and when you bomb, any bullets on screen get converted into fragments. Like I said, I'm not going to last very long in this mode. But it's fun to have a look at it. That's what a lot of the key to this one is, using your secondary weapon a lot. Your secondary weapon, when it kills enemies, it will drop those crystals. And those crystals then you can use for your bonus points. The game does have chaining, I believe, as well, but I'm not proficient in how all this actually works yet. Before you get to a boss as well, they'll always drop like an energy. In the other mode, it drops energy on a bomb. The energy being the energy for your sub weapon. Right, this is probably not going to be fun. Like I say, it's not normally quite this crazy. Quite fun though. Well, I managed to get to level 2. Here's where you get all your time bonuses and stuff. I say this is the hardest mode, so it's not this crazy all the time. But yeah, this game came out under the radar, I think, to be honest. I didn't even know it was getting redone. And like I said, about a week ago, I found out that it's been remade. And it is pretty awesome. Definitely deserves to be on the best games of the year. Holy hell. Holy moly. They say it's good there's a novice mode as well to get you into it slowly, if you're not so good at shoot-em-ups. I say you can change the music tracks as well. On some of the levels you can have alternative music tracks as long as they're unlocked. Oh, that thing fires a lot more bullets on this mode. Yeah, so this is a very good update on the original. The original was good anyway, but yeah, this update is very good. I say you will have to go to the website to read all the updates. Game over. Yeah, I wasn't going to get very far in that mode. So anyway guys, that's Blue Revolver Double Action. This is the latest patch to it. So I can't remember how much this game was, and I can't see it now because I've already got it. So it's probably not that much, it's probably under like 10-15 quid. But yeah, this is a bit of a sleeper drop, I think, because I never even noticed it. So it's really cool. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm liking it. So yeah, Blue Revolver Double Action, definitely recommended. So let's move on to game number 4. Oh, I don't know whether this came out on any other consoles. I don't believe it did, but I could be wrong. But anyway, let's go on to game number 4. Alright guys, game number 4. This time we got Zakesta Z. This is a update to a free game that was released a little while ago by Zakeichi. If you haven't checked out his games, guys, he's got a load of free games you can just download for nothing on PC. So check out Zakeichi. But he has started releasing games on Steam. He's done 2 remakes so far, being this one and Kaiken. And he has a completely new game coming out, which is coming out in January, I believe. It's not long, and he's got a new one. But yeah, this came out earlier in the year. I love the original version of this game. It's brilliant. And this new update is even better, basically. So you got a couple of ways you can choose what stage you want to start. Your music, you've got the option mode and things like this. So pretty simple. It's got quite simple graphics, as you see. And then you've got difficulty. So Zutos is pretty much the hardest mode and the funnest mode. So this is a vertical scrolling shmup with like a sort of very 8-bit look to it, but it's super fun to play. So there's 5 different weapons, all do various things. I want to go for the homing missiles. They're the best, I think. There's like a scattergun, which is also very good. Every time you shoot enemies, they drop tiles, but the longer you take to pick them up, the less they're worth. So you want to try and be to the front of the screen a lot to get a high score. This game is very high paced. On this one as well is your secondary weapon automatically fires, which is very good. It can be powered up to level 3. At the moment I'm stuck on level 1. There is secret tiles everywhere which you pick up for extra bonus points, very much like a Caravan game, and it's even got the tiles from Caravan games. When you fire, the weapon changes number. So you have to stop firing for the one you want. So basically it's on about picking all the extra stuff up, and you've got like an EX mode, which I clicked into now. Which can give you more points, as I just get hit twice. When you get hit, you lose your weapons. It's going to prove to be pretty disastrous. So you have to power them back up again. So once you got full weapons, you want to be staying towards the top of the screen, and you want to be going back and forth quite a lot, looking for the extra things on the floors. Extra tiles, extra bonus tiles. Getting that extra mode. It's not completely obvious what the extra mode does, but you can score bigger in it basically. This game has 5 levels and 2 bosses at the end. His other game, Kaiken, is well worth getting as well. That game is really, really good. And it's well worth having a look on his website and downloading all the games he did free, including the free version of this. But I would definitely suggest buying the full version. It's like £4 or £5. It is better. Right, my sub level's up to level 2. His games also have very good music. The music, I think some music studio does the music for him. His games are brilliant as well, especially for free. They're amazing. That's why I got no qualms in paying for him. I'm definitely picking his new game up as soon as it's out. Get close to him for that extra power. So this game is really fast paced, high energy. My high score is quite big as well. It took quite a while to get that. I say this is the hardest mode though, so it's probably take you a little bit of practice to get up to this mode. This game, he has various ideas from lots of shmups. Quite clever, this stuff. I say this game may look cheap, but it's amazing. Yeah, my homing missiles are up to full power now. I say the update had a rework of the game, had some new music, remix stuff, and various extra things added to it. But I'd stuff myself in. I did because I hit the side. Oh well, we're back. Say super fun to play basically. I won't play it for too much longer. Just want you guys to, if you want to buy it, you like a look of it, to appreciate it for yourselves. So anyway, that's Zakesta Z. Highly recommended and a very cheap game as well. And keep an eye out for his newest game. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's looking pretty funky. It's looking a bit like Thunder Force. It's looking real cool. So I think we'll move on to game number 3 now. This is another interesting one. Well, game number 3. This is Trouble Witches Final, and as going by the name, this is the final version of Trouble Witches. Trouble Witches is a horizontal scrolling shoot 'em up in the same sort of phase as sort of Cotton. Originally on the PC, but the PC version was good, but it had problems. It had sort of level issues. There was a lot of levels that were very hard to do. There was a lot of balance issues. But then it got an arcade release which they fixed a lot of the issues and updated the game. It subsequently got a console release, like it got a release on the 360 originally. And then I'm pretty sure it came out on the PS4 as well. They basically got all 2D versions of the arcade one, that's slightly updated to put in widescreen and everything. So what they did then, a few years later now, they've actually done the final version of this game. So we'll go into what you actually get. In the final version, all the graphics are 3D apart from the main sprites. So they've redone all the levels. All the levels have had rebalancing, bosses have had rebalancing. There's extra bits in the levels that weren't there before. They've changed some of the enemy patterns and various things. They've pretty much overhauled the entire game. So you get arcade mode, which is not the original arcade mode, but it's the arcade mode for this. You get a story mode, you get a Valpurgis night mode, which is an interesting take on the new version, where you get a lot of gold coins and things turn up, and you got to collect a lot more gold, but it's on the highest difficulty level. It's pretty fun mode actually. I really like it. Score attack, boss attack, and endless mode, and then quite nicely you get the original Trouble Witches arcade game. But it's not the 2D background version. You still get the 3D backgrounds of this new version. So you don't exactly really get the arcade one. It is the arcade rule set and everything, but it's not. It doesn't look like the arcade one. You got a practice mode in that, tutorial, online rankings, and your options. So we'll go into this. With this new update as well, there's literally all the characters in the game. All the original characters, all the extra characters they added. I think one or two of them might have been DLC, possibly. And there is 2 DLC characters for this game. So the 2 DLC characters are this one, which is like a boss character, and every character has its own familiar, which flies around, which you use for putting big shield up that blocks bullets and slows the bullets down and stuff. So her familiar is one of the first sub-bosses, and you get Cotton, which is perfect to be honest, because this is very much a Cotton game in lots of ways. So they're both really good, these characters, plus all the other characters. They all got different stats, weapons, familiars. So I'm going to use her, because I quite like her. These are various difficulty levels. So we're just going to go normal or comfortable. So with this game, you've got a fire button, which normally does fire. You've got a button that your familiar brings up a big like circle shield, and you've got a bomb button. The circle shield, which I'll do it now, blocks all bullets and slows them right down. There is techniques you need to use. You can get loads of bullets in the shield and then cancel the shield. I see these bullets are going into it for longer, so the longer bullets go into the shield. Sometimes they hang around on screen when you turn the shield off. If they do that, you press shield again, and the bullets return into gold bullets, and then you can cancel them out. Normally what happens is you trap the bullets in the shield, and then once you kill that enemy, the bullets disappear and turn into coins. Coins then are used for the shop, so you can buy extra weapons. These are basically your bombs essentially, or sub-weapons. You can touch a girl up in the shop, but if you do it too much, an older version of the girl comes on and chucks you out. Which is quite funny. Sometimes she does show up as well later on, and you get cheaper items. Another handy tactic in this game is if you've got a bar, your shield will only last a certain amount of time, and then the bar will go down. You have to turn it off and wait for it to charge. When you enter a shop and you exit a shop, your bar gets refilled, which comes in very handy on later levels and the harder difficulties. So you can see all the bullets are all getting cancelled out. I've run out of shield now, and when they get cancelled, they get turned into coins. What you can do then, if I use the special will cancel bullets, and they turn into star coins. And you'll automatically collect all the bullets as well, because normally you'd have to press a button like that for the coins that you don't actually collect. So on later levels, when the game gets a lot harder, there's your shield is essential. Those bolts which turn up, you can turn them into gold coins. Well, gold sort of weapon. I don't know what they are, bullets or whatever, and then cancel them. So as you see, my shield bar is on 65%. So So if I pick up 2 weapons and go out, my shield bar will be full now when I go out. Handy tactic. You can see they've completely redone all the backgrounds in this and made them into 3D, and they've done a pretty wonderful job of it. All the sprites are 2D, but they're really nice animated. They work really well over the 3D backgrounds. I've been playing this game for quite a few years now. I really like it. In a lot of ways, I actually like this game more better than the Cotton games. So this is the first boss. At the moment, this is only out in Japan. It was very tricky to find. I looked in 3 different cities in Japan for this, in all the game shops, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So in the end, when I came back to the UK, I bought it off a UK seller who was selling a brand new version, which is pretty random. So that's the first boss. This level does get quite tricky. Game, it definitely gets tricky later on. It can be quite hard, but it's a fun game. Lots of characters to play around with, all different familiars with different weapons. I do like the 2 DLC characters. Cotton's very good as well. I always thought this level looked a little bit bland on the original game compared to all the other levels. All the other levels are much more fantasy, but this new version of this level actually looks really cool. Multi-layered 3D backgrounds as well. It really sort of brings this this level out. So I use my bubble weapon. When I get loads of these star coins, they make quite a bit of difference for scoring. So that's to the second level of that one. So we'll exit out of this, and I'll show you the Valpurgis mode. Be prepared for a good challenge. This is the hardest of the game to actually get. So we'll use Cotton for the hell of it. She's got a little familiar, which I can't remember the name of. Silk, that's the one. There's Silk flying around. So as you notice with this one, hell of a lot more bullets straight away. And then you get the gold rush mode. So there's the yellow bullets, which you can cancel out by using the shield again. This is where that recharge comes in super handy. So there's more weapons. There's new weapons in this game as well, like the Meteor's the new one. The Thunder weapon, which is not on here, is also another new weapon. So they've added quite a bit to this game, to be honest. Trap as many bullets as possible to get those coins. See, this is where we get these extra bonuses to fly in. It's quite an interesting mode, this one. I really like it. It's quite fun to play. Even though I've not managed to 1cc this mode yet, but I've got quite far now. Use my special I just bought on it. Get these little bonuses. Back in your shop for more stuff. I'll show you now. If you touch it up too much, I'll get chucked out now. Yours. Chucks me out the shop. Now you won't get a shop for the rest of the level. It's just quite funny. So this game it's a really nice game. I definitely suggest if you can get hold of it, pick it up. I've heard that there might be like a limited run sort of company version of this coming to the West soon as well. I'm sure I've seen something on Twitter about it. So hopefully it'll get a Western release soon, and hopefully a download release. You can get it off the Japanese stores if you want to. It's also out on Switch as well, and the Switch version is very good. Say Cotton in a lot of ways suits this game perfect. I can't remember the actual date the original PC version came out. It was a long time ago. It definitely wasn't 2016. Oops, I got fried. A company called Studio Siesta. They made another game called Air Raid, which is also very good as well, but unfortunately it doesn't run correctly on modern PCs, which is a shame. Your boss is a lot harder to kill now. So, anyway guys, that's Trouble Witch's final. Definitely recommend picking this up if you can. It's a really fun game, especially if you haven't played it. But even if you have played the other version you like it, definitely get this version because it is very different to the original one. Not very different, but there's a lot of changes. Say the better graphics, they've rehashed some of the levels as well, and they've rebalanced a lot of stuff. There is a lot of stuff to come back to, and I think this is a much better game for it. Even though I would say that it's a lot more busy than the original version with stuff on screen, but yeah, it's definitely a better game for it. So yeah, let's move on to game number 2. Right, game number 2. This is going to be a bit of a controversial one, going by online reviews and people in forums and stuff. Everyone hates this game, and I don't really know why. I think basically everyone hates it because of the way it looks. They're all slagging it off, saying it looks terrible, and yeah, it doesn't look particularly great. It's not beating around the bush. It could have been better looking, but you know, it is what it is. The other thing with this game, it does have a few issues. Like one, it doesn't have cloud saves, because as you'll see in a minute when I start it, I haven't got my planes, the ones I've bought and the ones I've powered up, because it doesn't support cloud saves. Like what the hell? And they haven't gone back and patched it in either. So it's a bit of a shame, that is. So I normally stream it from the other PC to the one in the cab when I play it. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame. And the other thing about this game as well is it is a complete and utter rip-off of Vampire Survivors. And when I say complete, I mean complete. The entire game setup is exactly the same as Vampire Survivors. So if you've played one Vampire Survivors, the roguelike where you play for so long, you get to pick a weapon, you get to build, and then you got to try and survive as long as possible. This is pretty much the same game, but we're Raiden over the top, and they should have just called it Raiden Survivors. But apart from that, I think this game's really good. It's really addictive, and I've been playing it for over 40 hours, which is crazy. You can get money when you play through the game, and you can buy various planes, because this is not my save. I haven't got them unlocked. I've only got the one unlocked, well, 2 unlocked. But you do get more, and then once you've got more money in, you can basically bump up all their stats like you can in Vampire Survivors, and these are permanent power-ups as well to make your ships better and better. This game has got 6 levels and a big triple blast boss at the end of it, and it does have online rankings as well. the online rankings, my scores, I am 36 in the world on it, and the guy who got the top score, he's almost like twice my score. I don't know how the hell he's done it. So there's definitely something about this game that I'm missing, that I'm not getting score. So let's start this up. You've got two modes. You've got unlimited mode, which you basically pick a level and you play it until you die. The guy who's got a high score, I think, on the first level, I've done about 2.5 hours on it, and then I had to go out, so I had to leave it. I reckon he played for about 8 hours to get the score, which is crazy. But we'll start with this. This game is on the PS4. I'm not sure. I think it might be out on Switch as well, and PC. It is a twin stick shooter, so it does use modern twin stick controls, which is really weird for a Raiden game. And I have to admit, first time I seen this game, I was just like, what the hell? What the hell are they doing? This looks rubbish. What the hell have they done? And I was thinking that until I started playing it. I thought I'd give it a go. And I started playing it, and I can't stop playing it. I'm putting it as my number 2, simply for the fact that the sheer amount of time I've played it, and I keep coming back to it. So, as you see, I found a homunculus on the floor over there. You can boost, which will boost a few enemies and bullets. So there's 2 homunculuses on each level, and they can be a little bit tricky to find. But I know where the ones are on the first level, and they give you like a little bonus. So the idea is, each level, as you see, it says eliminate 100 enemies. Every time you do a little sort of like submission, like eliminate so many enemies, as it says at the top, you get like a drop, which then you pick up, and they can give you up to 5 different power-ups. Very handy to get. So you want to be trying to get as many kills as possible on each level. You get 5 minutes per level. So once you get the upgrade come up, you've got a choice of what upgrades you want to pick. There's 3 main weapons in this. You've got your normal laser there, you have the bendy lock-on laser, and you have the normal Vulcan, which is what I use. So I'm going to go with Home in Plasma, and I'm going to go with... That one is not that effective, but I'll get it anyway, just to show you guys. So basically, your bottom power-up line, so your 6 power-ups you get in your bottom are the offensive ones, and the 6 at the top are the defensive ones. So like if I get that one, my options, which now you'll see him firing, you power that up to like level 10, and they start firing faster and faster till they go into like a super mode when you get the 10th power up. Same with all the weapons and everything. There's 10 power ups. There's also a bomb. That icon there that sometimes drop is money, which you can use in the shop. So since I passed the mission level for 100, another one of these capsules have dropped. So what's it going to give me this time? Give me 3. And now I've got 4 more upgrades. So that's the defensive shell, which is well worth having. There's the bendy laser if you want to swap to it. Each ship as well, when you unlock them, they have like a perk, and their perks are basically to different offensives. Like the one ship I really like has got a perk to the Vulcan weapon, which is very handy. The energy spark weapon is very good, and the homing missiles is super handy. And let's have a look. Full armor, like you power the armor one up and you can take more and more hits. So the levels do loop as well, so you can just fly around, do your thing on the levels. As for bonuses as well, you get planes that'll turn up, which if you shoot them, you'll either get energy or a bomb out of them. They're quite important, and you'll also get like a special gold, silver, or a multicolored end, like a rainbow enemy that turns up. It tells you when they turn up. If you collect them, they will drop one of those random pods, and they will do or presents, as they look like over there, and they will level you up. Sometimes they drop like a green crystal, which will add to your experience. Oh, it didn't drop me anything interesting then. See, in some ways, sometimes you want to ignore the big enemies. I don't go for the smaller enemies. One thing I will suggest on this game as well is play it on the higher difficulty. It's far more fun. I literally play on super hard. But you've got to unlock it. You can play on hard straight away, but the hardest mode you have to unlock after time. Plus another thing about unlocking after time, as you play through this game and you level up and level up, eventually the game will start giving you extra power-ups you didn't have at the start, which is Pretty much what Vampire Survivors does as well. So as you can see, the game set out is pretty much exactly the same as Vampire Survivors. They pretty much copied it. But I ain't complaining because it does make sense in a shoot 'em up, and it's pretty fun. And it isn't a full price game either. Right, so what we got then? So we got nuclear missiles. We'll power my Vulcan up. We'll power the Vulcan up, and we'll go for that laser. So we haven't had these silver enemies yet. Oh, these enemies have just appeared by here. These are the ones that give you either health or a bomb. So, let's see what else appears now. This game is random as well in the way that the power-ups pick up what you actually get, the enemies, but you still get waves and stuff roughly at the same time. Oops. So now it should drop me one of those gold icons. Yeah, that's another one. And I've done a mission, so I've got one of those capsule drops. Sometimes they'll give you five drops, which is really good. So assault frame will power up your weapon. I probably didn't need to get that actually, but so each time I power up these weapons, they're getting more and more powerful. And then once I power up the other pup I mentioned, the weapons will fire faster. At certain times through the levels, you get these like extra enemies that turn up. Still no gold or silver enemy. They don't always appear. It's random basically. Sometimes you can get a load of them in a row. Sometimes if you're lucky you can get up to like level 36 off level 1. That's most of that I've managed so far. Okay, use the bomb with them as well. So I got the mission of 600 enemies is done. Oh, want to get that powered up. And a bomb again. Right, so I got 2 power-ups. What do I go for? That's a question. Boss is coming up. So your main firing, once you hit level 10, once you hit level 9 and you do the upgrade for level 10, becomes way faster. It's really got loads wider. Plus then there's another one where you can actually power up this firing and make it even more deadly to the enemies. You can cancel these scenes. These are like literally to show you the bosses. Like I said, this game doesn't have the greatest of graphics in the world. A lot of the assets come from Raiden 5, and to be honest, the assets do look better than the assets in Raiden 5 on this. But they are low resolution. I think they're like maybe 720p, and this game just upscales to wherever your desktop resolution is. Hence, there's no options whatsoever on this for a PC game. It's like a console game. There's no options. It just does what it does. You can't pick resolutions or anything. You might be able to force them in your drivers. So it could be reasonably quick to play. It's like 5 minutes per level. Plus then you got the boss. The better your weapons. I do have a loadout which I go for every time, and it does seem to work out pretty good for me. But different planes have got different strengths, so as you'll play through this game you will unlock them. We'll say it does take a long time to unlock them to get enough money, and it does take quite a long time to upgrade them as well. But once you do upgrade them, they're like flying killer machines. So it does, the loading is a little bit long in this, which is a bit weird because it is an NVMe drive in this, so it should load fast. It does on my other PC as well. It just takes a little while to load for some reason, but it's not too bad. first homunculus is over here. I can never quite remember what the second one is. But now we're starting to get bigger enemies turning up. Hang around here, I think, for a little bit. Sometimes you get the gold and silver enemies around here. It does pay to fly around as well in this game, because there's a lot of ground targets and stuff which will give you extra hits when some of the enemies don't turn up so fast. Which can be really useful. So I'm almost up to my 200 target for the first mission complete. And I'm out of bombs. Aha, you are gold enemy. So where is it? Oh, it's turned up close, I think. Yeah, there he is. And then it drops, as soon as you kill them, it'll drop into those capsules. But shame that sometimes they drop that green crystal that gives you more XP. Plus, obviously when you're killing enemies, your XP is going up with that bar on the top, and then you level up. So there's another one of these pods dropped. So I don't want to show you too much of the game, guys, but you get the idea. You get the idea that Raiden Nova is a twin-stick shooter. Basically, it's Vampire Survivors with Raiden skin over the top. And to be honest, that ain't no bad thing. Ignore the reviews online saying the graphics don't look great. Let's say don't, and people are saying it's basically shit because of it. Give the game a go for yourself. It is actually really good fun. I was really surprised how fun this game actually is. That's why I'm checking in number 2. It is literally, it's the surprise shoot 'em up of the year. The shoot 'em up that look absolutely dreadful. This actually turned out to be pretty good fun. So yeah, I don't think it was a bad choice for a bit of a side game for them to do it this way. It was a bit of a bold move, but I like it. It's fun. So it is going to my number 2. A lot of people won't like that, but you know, that's me. If I like it, it's going in there. I'm not being a sheep and following everyone else. So number 2 it is. So right then, guys, let's get on to the best shoot 'em up of 2024. Right then, guys. Well, 10 best shmups of 2024. This is my pick for number 1 shmup of the year. This game is fantastic. It's definitely the best shmup that's come out this year. Very good. Devil Blade ReBoot, which is a reboot of a game that was on a shoot 'em up like type construction kit for the PlayStation 1. So we don't want to start that yet. So this is basically a rebooted version of that. The guy who made it, I believe, was one of the members of Vanillaware. And he came back and updated this game and did a re-release of it, and he did a fantastic job of it. So what you get in this package, you get your normal standard game, you get your level select, and you get your retro mode. The retro mode is the original PlayStation one, so we actually included it on here. You get a replay mode, so you can save your replays, gallery, unlocks, options, that type of thing. So I'm going to show you the original game first. So this is the original game that was on a PS1. On the PS1 you had a disc which came with, I think it was 2 pre-made shmups, and you could make your own one. You could basically make your own levels and stuff. They did these like construction kit things on the SNES and various consoles and computers. And then there was a separate disc that came there with something like 105 games made in that system. A lot of them, they're quite similar, because I think there's only so much you can do, but this game was definitely the standout game on that disc. And he's included it in this release, which is really cool. So in this game you've got 2 weapons. You've got a spread weapon and the more concentrated fire. When you're in the spread weapon you're fast, in the concentrated fire you're slow. You'll see the little numbers going up. The way you score on this, the closer to the enemies you are, the bigger the multiplier is. So if you want to score high on this, you've got to get really close to enemies. You do have a smart bomb as well, which I'll show you in a second. You can see the multiplier going up. So yeah, risk and reward essentially is how this game works. So if you actually do massive high scores in this, you're going to have to root this game and root the enemies. Clever way of doing it, and it works really well. There is a smart bomb. The smart bomb, depending on the difficulty level on, will give you a shield back. So I'm going to blow a shield to get my shield back. On harder difficulties, I don't know whether it works on this version, but on the remake, on harder difficulties, you don't get the shield back. I got my berserk bonus, the counter stop. There's also chaining and stuff you can do in this as well. It's a very satisfying game for scoring. So I'm going to pause it and reset this thing. So that's the original game. So let's go on to the actual rebooted brand new version. Like I say, this is the best shoot 'em up that's come out this year. It's a hell of an update as well. Hard mode is obviously a lot more tricky because you can't bomb to get your shield back, so you have to route the levels and stuff, but super fun. And there's an even harder Inferno mode. This game is super fun, it's really good. It's really well made. So hopefully this will come to consoles one day as well. It deserves to be honest. Hence it was a console game originally, so... The music's really good as well. Trying to score. Same on this version, I've just lost my shield, so if I bomb I'll get my shield back. There are points in the level where you can get your shield back anyway. Every now and then you'll get the enemies come in, you can get a shield and a bomb. Them ones basically. If you manage to keep a shield to when they come in they drop like a load of crystals. And that goes to your extra points as well. So you've got all this and you've got the chain in as well. See, I got it then, trying to chain it. You get the crystals because I already had a shield. Yeah, I think they did a fantastic job of updating the graphics, but keeping it very similar to the original. And I love the way the bosses and everything talk to as well. But God have mercy on your soul. There's some amazing bullet patterns and stuff on the bosses. They're really well put together. Same again, you want to stay close to him. I am gonna do a bomb. The music suits it perfect. It's like makes this game like really sort of high, really fast, and really fun to play. Damn, wrong place. It is a fantastic update of the original. So I don't want to show you too much of it. I'll show you some of the second level and we'll call it quits. So yeah, I love the graphics too. I love the style when you come into the levels. I love the idea. The scoring is brilliant on you. Demands a lot of play as well to get really good at the scoring. You got the higher difficulty levels as well that makes it interesting, where you can't bomb to get a shield back, like I just did. So hopefully one day this does come to consoles. It deserves to be on a console. Lost my shield then, trying to get in close. Got my shield and my bomb back. Right, I'm not going to play much further. We'll try and get to the end of this boss by here. So guys, without going any further, because I don't want to spoil it for anyone, yeah, this is my number one pick of the best shmup that come out this year, especially the ones I've played essentially. This game is fantastic, super fun. It's a hell of an upgrade to the original. It's got lovely graphics, really cool effects over the top. I love the way like sometimes it zooms into the levels and stuff, and the bosses shout stuff at you, and it's just a really well-made game with lots of opportunities for chaining enemies together and scoring high by getting close to everything. And like I say, if you want to get really high scores on it, it's going to take practice to sort of you know find out the best places to kill enemies and how close you get to them. So it is a really well-made game. It's actually my pick for the best game to come out this year. Hopefully, it does come to consoles. Unfortunately, it's PC only at the moment, and I haven't heard of any details of anything coming to console. But yeah, so that's it then, guys. That's my 10 best games of this year. I do have some honorable mentions, which they didn't make the list, but I'm gonna check them on here anyway. And if I just find my list, right, here we go. So honorary mentions. Evercade just released basically the Toplan 3 and 4 collection, which has a load of really nice Toplan games on it. I didn't include it in this collection because there was a lot of other stuff, and there's been a lot of Toplan collections lately. I know I did include Tiger Heli, but it's an M2 game. It's well going. But the Evercade ones are good as well. And the two cartridges will cost you, how much is it, about 35 quid, I think it'll cost you for the two cartridges, and you'll end up with about like, I don't know, 14 games or more, whatever. They're definitely worth mentions. The new game by Zakesta Z is coming out. It's called Very Snacks, which has got a weird name. It's like Very and then ZNEX. That one's coming out. It looks fantastic. It's coming out in January, I believe. There's another game on PC that hasn't come out this year called Rain Chaser that seemed really good. It's got like a weird sort of dull sort of coloured look to it, but that could be well worth I'm gonna look at. Another game that a lot of people are saying is one of the best shoot 'em ups this year is Angel at Dusk. I do have it. I've played it a bit, not a huge amount. It does seem very interesting, but it's a bit weird. So it didn't make the list, but it is one that I need to put a bit more time into and play it some more. And another one which I didn't end up picking up is Radigy, Radigy 2. Apparently it's out on Switch. I wasn't overly fussed on the original game, but the second one looks interesting, but I didn't have the money to pick it up. But there's some honorable mentions anyway. But Angel of Dusk and the Evercade cartridges, they do seem worth getting, but I do need the Evercade cartridges definitely. But I definitely need to put some time into Angel of Dusk. So anyway, guys, I hope you have a good Christmas. I hope Santa's very good to you and he dumps his sack with loads of interesting stuff in there and maybe some shmups for you. You never know. And have a good, have a happy New Year as well. And we'll see what next year brings. Hopefully, some interesting new shmups. There's a couple on the horizon, so hopefully next year will be an interesting year for shmups. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the top 10. Check out the games if you fancy them and maybe pick them up. And definitely check out this game because it's fantastic. And if you get a chance, give Raiden Nova a go. It's good. Don't go by what everyone's saying online. It is a fun game. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for that, but it is. I'm not being a sheep and going with the crowd. I like it. It's fun, and it's going in my number 2 slot. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll catch you again soon. Ta now.